All right, hello. I'm Jade, and I got a little request for the chords on Thorn, which is something I did not expect. It was a pleasant surprise, one could say. So thank you for that. I'm not gonna dox you, but thank you. And so I'm gonna show you guys the chords and sort of how to play the song. I don't know if this is going to be useful for anyone but that person, but that's fine by me also. So the first chord, well, first of all, capo on the first fret, right? And then we could do the strumming pattern first actually. So it's down, up, 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 down, down, up, 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 down. And it goes like that throughout the entire song, except for in the second verse. I forget where exactly it was. I think it's on the second chord, or it just like sort of rings out like that, and then you jump back in, right? But the chords, so for the entirety of the song except for the outro, it's the same progression, slight variations in melody. We'll get to that. It's not really anything crazy or something, but the first chord is I'll try to see if I can make like a little picture over here of, you know, the chord on a little website or something, to sort of help out, because it's kind of hard to see on, like, when you just have my fingers in the way. So, but anyways, your middle finger you want to put on the third fret of the A string, and then you got your index on the second fret of the, what is it, guys? It's the D string. Sorry, I'm a bit slow today. And then open string on the G string, and then third fret with your ring finger on the B string. And you can play the high E if you want to. And so you do that, 4 times. 1, 3, 4, and then you go to the second chord, which is basically the same one, but you move the bass note to the second fret, and you kind of got to move your fingers around a little bit for it. So I have my index on the second fret of the A string, and then I have my middle finger on the second fret of the D string, open string again on the G string, and then my pinky down here on the B string. And then that also goes 4 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes to the third chord, which is kind of a weird one. It looks like this, and I like to, or I always mute the second string, or the A string, with my thumb over on the third fret here, because you're gonna be pressing down on the E string of the third fret with it anyways, and then if you slightly touch the A string, it doesn't play, because it sort of doesn't really sound that good with the rest of the chord. And then you got open D string, and then you got your middle finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then you got your index on the 3rd fret of the B string. So you play that, and then you go to the last chord, which is it's basically just like an A minor, but then without your ring finger. So it's just your middle finger on the second fret of the D string, and your index on the first fret of the B string. Right, and again, I sort of just mute the string that I don't want, so this time I'll just mute the E string with my thumb because it's up here. And then sometimes I do this little variation on the end of it. It goes like, you might have heard it in the song. And it's basically just, it all happens on the B string, right? So this one down here. And what it is just, you put your pinky on the third fret, and then you remove it, and then you remove your index. So the strumming pattern is slightly different there, because you go from, right, it's just down, 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 and then back to. And there's another variation that I do in this, I think it's the second chorus of the first chord, where I'll put my pinky down on the third fret of the high E. So I'll just play it like, and then you put it on to have that little extra. You know? And then we get to the outro. So this is just right after the last chorus ends. You go back to the first chord, you play that per usual, and then the second chord as well. And then you skip the third chord and you go to that weird A minor. And then you play these chords. And you play those for like, so with the other ones it was like four times. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the chords are it's like it's a weird F that I like the sound of. I always like this one. There's voicing, but it's just your thumb on the first fret of the E string, and then you got your ring finger over on the third fret of the A string, and your pinky on the third fret of the D string. And then with these two fingers, well, the middle finger goes on the second fret of the G string, and then the index goes on the first fret of the B string, and then you have an open E string. I think it's a very nice chord. I like it a lot. And then you play the minor of that same chord, which gives it that dissonant sound, which I really like. So the thing that you change there is actually only these two fingers. So you keep your thumb, your ring finger, and your pinky where it is, and then you just move these two down to the first fret. So your index is on the first fret of the G string. Oh, sorry. And then your middle finger is on the first fret of the B string. So and I think that should be actually the whole song. So very cool. And thank you for the request. I've never gotten one of those before. So I hope this helps out. I'll try to make like a little picture of the chords as well, so it's a bit easier than just looking at the real life, because my fingers are in the way. But yeah, hope this helped, and have a good day.